Before starting the story, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. The film begins on graduation day at Buffalo Glen High School. Everyone is expected to come up and give a speech, and now it's Dennis Kalman's turn. Dennis is a highly intelligent student and has earned the title of valedictorian. As he steps onto the stage, he's supposed to deliver his speech. He does start speaking, but what follows feels less like a formal speech and more like a heartfelt confession of love. Right there, he openly expresses his feeling for the beautiful Beth Cooper. He says, "When I was in 7th grade, I saw you for the first time in math class, Beth. I completely lost my heart to you. Every time I sat behind you, I found myself falling in love with you all over again. I've always loved you, but I never said anything because we never even talked. But now, I'm not afraid of anyone, not even you. I love you." Along with that, Dennis also confesses to having an eating disorder. He even admits that he considers himself a moron. He takes a jab at the rich girl Valley, criticizes Greg, and even insults Beth's boyfriend Kevin, who happens to be a soldier in the army. He then asks his best friend Rich to finally admit that he's gay, which leaves Rich completely embarrassed. Just as Dennis keeps going, a teacher steps in and stops him from continuing. Later, the teacher asks Dennis if this was really the right moment to confess his love. Dennis responds by saying, "You must have been in love once too." That makes the teacher recall a moment from her past when she was involved in an intimate situation with someone. After that brief reflection, she walks away. Soon after, Beth comes to meet Dennis. She scolds him and says, "You embarrassed me." Then, through her confident and bold attitude, she makes it clear just how attractive and confident she is. Around this time, Rich also shows up. Dennis invites Beth to a party at his place, but just then, Kevin arrives. He gets aggressive toward Dennis, but the teacher intervenes and stops him. Later, when Dennis and Rich are together, their conversation reveals that Dennis has never had a girlfriend, while Rich is openly gay. Dennis is the kind of guy who is timid and strictly follows rules, which doesn't really attract the girls at school. Dennis eventually heads home, where his parents are about to leave. His father finds out about the party and says, "Son, we're heading out, but if you need protection, there's some in the room. You can take it." His father assumes that tonight Dennis might finally lose his virginity, though neither Dennis nor Rich are really sure about that. Soon, Beth arrives at Dennis's house with her friends Cammie and Trish. Dennis and Rich are both extremely nervous. Beth initially makes fun of Dennis for being so timid, while her friends find him cute. Beth then asks where everyone else is if there's supposed to be a party. Slowly, it becomes clear that Dennis never actually organized any party at all. Still, Beth and her friends start having fun anyway. Dennis and Rich bring out the protection, but instead of using it seriously, they start using it like balloons. At first, Beth gets a little aggressive with Dennis, but his innocence and awkwardness make her ease up. At one point, when she gets close to him, Dennis gets an erection, which Beth immediately notices. She tells her friends, and they all make fun of him, while Dennis awkwardly tries to hide it. Meanwhile, Kevin shows up in a Hummer with his friends. He's there to beat Dennis up. Dennis quickly locks all the doors and starts blocking them with chairs and sofas, but he forgets to secure one door. Kevin and his group manage to get inside. Beth tells Kevin to leave, but he refuses. His friends start wrecking the kitchen and attacking Dennis. Beth and her friends step in to help Rich and Dennis, and all 5 of them manage to escape in Beth's car. After that, they arrive at a gas station where they go to buy beer. However, the clerk refuses to accept Beth's driving license as valid ID for purchasing alcohol. In that driving license, it says Beth is 37 years old, which is obviously something no one would believe. Beth tries to charm the clerk into letting it slide, but he says he can't risk losing his job. After that, she starts kissing him multiple times, and eventually the clerk gives in and hands over the beer. At that moment, Dennis realizes that Beth isn't exactly the way he had imagined her in his dreams. Afterward, they head to a deserted spot and set up a bonfire. Dennis tells Beth that she shouldn't treat herself that way, pointing out how she kissed a stranger just to get beer. He tells her that he truly respects her. Beth takes that in and starts to reflect on it. Meanwhile, Rich and Beth's friends wander near a cowshed, where Rich accidentally steps into cow dung, and the cows start chasing them. Back at the bonfire, Beth expresses her feelings to Dennis and mentions that her name is based on a love song. She realizes how deeply Dennis loves her and begins to accept his feelings. Just then, the cows come charging toward them as well, and everyone runs back to Beth's car. As they drive off, it becomes clear that Beth is a reckless driver, handling the car in a wild and careless way. On the road, they spot another car, and inside are Dennis's parents, caught in an intimate moment. Beth almost crashes into them, but manages to stop just in time. None of them want to see Dennis's father in that state, so they quickly move on. Beth then drives them to Valley's house, where a private party is going on. At the party, Greg pulls Dennis aside, and it seems like he's about to beat him up. Instead, Greg breaks down, rests his head on Dennis's shoulder, and says, "You really understood me. From today on, you're my best friend." Dennis comforts him. But then, Kevin shows up with his friend and starts attacking Dennis. Greg steps in to defend him and manages to take Kevin down several times. During the chaos, Beth crashes Kevin's Hummer, and then she quickly gathers her friends and Dennis, and they all escape. Beth takes them to their school, where she has access because she's a cheerleader and has a key. There, she and her friends perform their cheerleading routine for Dennis, who watches closely. After that, they head to the showers together. Beth appears in front of Dennis without clothes, which makes Dennis extremely nervous, and then she goes off to shower with her friends. Meanwhile, Kevin attacks again. Rich tries to fight him off using nothing but a towel as his weapon. A full-on towel fight breaks out, and surprisingly, Rich gains the upper hand, overpowering Kevin with the towel. Soon after, Beth arrives again with her car, and all 5 of them escape once more. By now, Dennis has taken quite a beating, and his nose is bleeding. Beth tells Dennis to take off his shirt, and he does. She playfully swings it around before tossing it away, and when she and Dennis go to retrieve it, a wild cat appears and lunges at them, forcing them to run off. Later, they arrive at Trish's family cabin. Beth and Dennis sit by the lake waiting for the sunrise, while Trish and Cammie are with Rich. They ask him if he's really gay, and Rich admits he's not sure what he is and hasn't figured it out yet. After that, the 3 of them get physically involved, and afterward, Rich becomes certain that he is gay, although Trish doesn't fully agree. Meanwhile, Beth and Dennis share their first kiss. Beth admits that choosing someone like Kevin was a mistake, calling him a loser who isn't worthy of her or any girl. After that, Beth and Dennis spend the night together. Finally, they return to Dennis's house. His father figures out that Dennis has lost his virginity. While he's somewhat pleased about that, he's also furious because the house has been completely trashed due to the fight with Kevin. He makes it clear that Dennis is going to be punished, and punished properly. As Beth is about to leave, she kisses Dennis. This time, there's genuine affection in her eyes for him. She thanks him for loving her the way he does. Dennis replies, "What's there about you not to love?" The 2 of them promise to meet again at their high school reunion, and if they're still single by then, they decide they'll marry each other. With that, the night comes to an end. Beth leaves with her friends. Afterward, Rich admits to Dennis that yes, he really is gay, but he's also attracted to girls, meaning he likes both genders. Dennis says he can't wait until the reunion to see Beth again. Rich suggests that he should just go ahead and propose to her. The 2 of them start discussing different ways Dennis could propose to Beth, and on that note, the film comes to an end.